Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Words from the Nerds podcast. We are your lovely co-hosts, Benjamin, Aiden, and Charlie. We are a weekly podcast where we talk about all the nerdy things, the new movies, television shows, and news. And sometimes we get into it. Aiden, what are you channeling there,
Bro always
brother?
has to outdo me, bro. Oh my
I was
god. Move on. Don't
channeling
call
all the
attention
good
to
energy. Good energy for this episode.
Dude, it's always
it.
good
It
energy
didn't get
here.
to me. It didn't get that energy. Didn't get to me. I'll let you know
We
that.
got it. Yeah, we might have to kick this guy. We can't have any
Yeah.
negativity on this show. We keep
Look,
things
Ben
positive.
finally got the power to kick people out of the showroom, bro, and he's
Come
just
on.
he's living in it.
Hey, have I used it? Huh? Have I?
The first week you had it, you used it. Yeah, you did.
I don't remember that. Show me the tapes. Show me the footage. Anyways,
Guys, stop, guys. Come on.
a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, if you're here from the short form content, whether that be Instagram, probably not Instagram, TikTok, or
Dude,
YouTube.
I looked that up. I know I don't want to detract too far, but I do not understand what's going on with that. Like that is crazy.
Yeah. Yep, we might have gotten shadow banned on Instagram, but if you're here from TikTok or the YouTube Shorts, welcome in. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. These full-length discussions are a lot of fun. Make sure to hit that like button and stick around for future episodes. Another awesome thing is that we always respond to comments in the episodes themselves. So if you want to leave a comment down below, then we will address it next week. We had a number of comments last week on our discussion for weapons, where I had the most base takes of the group.
All right.
Starting off, we have 4 comments from the man himself, Mimish. Love you, brother. Hope you're doing well. The first one just says, the Spider-Man set photos have so much aura, which we did dive into, and I think all of us agree with, even more since the episode dropped. I don't know if you guys have been seeing more of the videos and set photos, but they're giving
sitting on top of the Punisher van. I agree.
Yeah,
I'm basically. I said I'm not gonna watch the trailers, and I'm basically watching the old trailers for with all the set photos. So
yeah, yep. And then we had a couple of comments from him talking about weapons. The first one says, the ending was the most annoying part of the film to me because, first of all, the comedic scenes felt forced and dragged a bit. I laughed a lot in this film. I found it pretty funny, but the chase scene was a bit too long in my eyes, and the way the movie ended felt bittersweet to me. Yeah, sure, they found the children, but a girl narrates the ending and says, some of the children now talk. Then it ends. Like, what? Didn't make any sense. I hate to say it, but I think we might have, you guys might have negatively influenced Mimish's view of the movie when he was so high on it, and you guys just had to talk him out of it.
Hey, sorry that we inspire people to think more critically than hype moments and aura, buddy. That's your go-to, pal. We all know this. Everybody knows this by now.
I was brutally honest when that moment happened, when we were talking about F1. I put the hand up and I said, "You're right." You know what? I actually saw a genuine video of somebody talking about how something that we don't discuss enough in movies. He didn't use the word aura. I forget what he used, but it was basically aura. Just like the feeling that you get from a movie making you feel great in those hype moments. And he talked about it like it's a genuine part of films that should actually be taken into account when you think about how much you enjoyed a movie. And that, to me, like, I watched it and he tried to make it like a very serious video. I was like, he's justifying hype moments and aura.
Yeah.
But you've used it like two or three times since that happened, and they haven't been valid. Like, weapons is not hype moments and aura in the slightest.
Yeah, it's like grief and absolute pain, like the complete opposite of hype moments and aura.
Yeah. And then the other comment about weapons, Mimish says, I would say after rewatching it, I can agree that there is a lot of plot holes in this film, but I enjoyed it a lot. In basis of a horror, I was actually creeped out in some scenes. Can't fault the acting at all. Can't fault the way the film was shot, because even that had its own story. When we go to the homeless character and the way the camera shots are completely different to the movie, and the angles actually prove how flipping drugged he is. But every plot hole you said, I fully agree with. So it started off as a 9. Now I'm gonna have to give it an 8, maybe a 7 if I wasn't biased.
Dang.
Dude,
Dang.
2 dropped
Mimish.
points. Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
Mimish, I respect the hell out of you, dog. I love that. I love that, man.
The only thing that I like can kind of see is I had this with Barbarian where I watched it in the theater and there was kind of this like, I don't know what I just watched, but like I kind of like it because of how wild it was. And then when I watched it like a few months later, I was like, maybe this is just weird. Like I don't think I didn't like it as much the second time around at all. But
I think I would feel that way again about like Beau is Afraid. When I got out of the theater, I was like, I love that. That was awesome. I feel like if I rewatch it now, I would definitely like I still think that first hour is perfect. I think that first hour is 10 out of 10. But if I were to rewatch it, the rest of the 2 hours of that movie, I'd probably come down on it quite a bit.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I think I've had that before with some movies, but I've maybe gotten over that a little bit. Like Beau is Afraid, I didn't like at all because it was too weird. So, you know, in my head, Weapons doesn't really fall into that category of a rewatch would make it worse. I don't think, but I don't know.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah. And then the final comment from Mimish says, also, can I just say hashtag best podcast in the world? The consistency of videos and clips, the words from the nerds are moving like prime CM Punk. We love to see it.
Shout out CM Punk, greatest wrestler ever.
Thank you, brother Mimish. We appreciate you. You know that. You know, they've been here with us for like 3 years now. That's insane.
Yeah,
it is crazy.
You're insane,
we
brother.
Definitely got to think ahead to an episode that Mimish could join us for.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. We went last minute last week, and I was like, bro, I'm so sorry. We couldn't get you in. It was like last minute, but for sure.
Yeah, we'll think of something later in the year, even just a segment just for like a single movie segment or something like that. And then the other 2 comments come from When Machine Broke. Starting off with the first comment, says, I can kind of see where y'all are coming from with Weapons. I didn't really see the third act as comedic, though, but I think a lot of people did because my theater was laughing at a lot of parts that I just questioned why they're laughing. When James kept getting knocked out and thrown around, it was kind of comedic, and Gladys running away from the kids was goofy as hell. But I loved it in general, and it's my favorite movie of the year. Also, I love Zach Kreger because I grew up on WKUK, and the deeper meaning of why he made this movie to deal with the emotions of losing Trevor Moore made me like it so much more. Also, I want to marry Julia Garner. Great podcast, guys. Keep it
up. That's hilarious.
I respect that.
Yeah, very much respect that.
And thank you for the kind words at the end. It wasn't necessary, but we appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you. Favorite movie of the year? I mean, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
I mean, When Machine Broke, if you decided to tune into another episode, I'd love to hear some of your other favorites from the year, just to know what else you watched, because some people watch a very select few films throughout a year, so he might be more of a horror fan and maybe not checking out everything.
True.
Yeah.
So
true triz, as I like to say.
Thank you very much for the kind words.
Yeah, start using that. Start using that, please.
And then the other comment from When Machine Broke commented that before watching Charlie's Take. All I can say is L take. Every little thing leads into the next extremely well IMO. My friend said that Justine is a bad person for hooking up with Cop Boy because he has a partner, just like Charlie said, but Cop Dude told her that they weren't together at that moment, so that's on him. And the part where she gets attacked in the liquor store is just classic storytelling misdirection because we think it's a distraught parent, but it's actually Donna's dumbass. The AR-15 part was weird, yeah, and I don't know what it meant. And all I can say to them, all having dreams of the same person they don't know, is because they're all connected to her doings in a way, and she's a demon witch. So I don't know. I'll take Charlie. Come on, bro. All right, I'm done.
Hey, respect. I get the first like official call out comment, which I mean, I had to see coming. Truthfully.
That's awesome.
I'm usually not like a lover of the, I don't know, more popular movies, I guess, that we have on the podcast typically.
Oh, so. He's different, guys. Don't worry.
That's not what I'm saying. Because I loved Sinners. And Sinners was a popular movie. So
Yeah.
Just horror movies, I guess I should say. But even though Sinners was a horror movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's been apparent anytime we've talked about a horror movie. You've usually been a little bit more critical than Aiden and I feel like we're all a little different. I remember even when we talked about like Alien Romulus, that Aiden was like a big fan compared to me, and then you even less so, Charlie.
See, but I liked Alien Romulus. Looking back, actually, Alien Romulus was better than Weapons, I think. But whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I only wouldn't hate that take if you actually liked Alien Romulus, but the fact that I know you didn't like it as much as me, that yeah. But with that being said, if you'd like to leave a comment on this episode, then we will address it next week. And just for anyone interested, we do have timestamps marked in the description of the YouTube video. If you want to hop around to the different topics that we're going to be covering, we're going to go.
And on audio, it works on audio too.
Oh, sick. I actually didn't know about that. We're going to be going over what we watched this last week, and then we're going to have our question/topic of the week little discussion, and then we're going to round it off with Nobody 2 at the very end. With that being said, we can start off with what we watched during this past week, Mr. Charles. I know you finished Prison Break recently.
Yes.
So we got to hear, did you start Attack on Titan?
I doubt it.
If
There's
not, what other show did you start? Surely it's something.
I did not start another TV show. I am going to start up Peacemaker season 1 here soon to prepare for season 2.
1.
Wait, have you not?
Yeah. No, I've seen it. Okay. Sorry, I should clarify. Rewatch. Yeah. I'm going to rewatch Peacemaker season 1 in preparation for season 2 here soon. But I have not started a new TV show. I just still keeping up week to week with like the Summer Nights Are Pretty. New episode every Wednesday. Got to be there. Team Conrad all the way now. Let's go. But I have watched a couple of movies, and and you will know when I watch Attack on Titan because you said you will watch Chuck when I start Attack on Titan. You're starting Chuck, so you will 1,000% know the moment I start Attack on Titan. You will know.
I'm telling you, man. This season 4 is that shit, bro. That's why I've been back. I'm like, you know what? Let me get back on this train because he has to watch this, bro.
This guy's crazy, bro. I did just find out from coworkers because they were talking about it as well. Also, I just want to say they were shit talking One Piece, pal. I gotta say they were shit talking One Piece.
It's not for everyone, you know.
That they were like, and I honestly, one of them I don't even believe I asked him how long he watched, and he said it was garbage. He said, "Oh, I tried watching like the first 15 episodes. I don't even believe him, truthfully. I like the way he was talking about it just didn't sound like he had actually gotten as far as he did. But whatever, if he's telling the truth, it doesn't matter. But I watched 2 movies today because I had the day off. 2 terrible movies. Mountainhead on HBO Max with Steve Carell. I forget what's one guy who was in that Saturday Night movie who he played young Chevy Chase. And then 2 other guys. I don't know their names.
I've never even
absolutely. It's a movie about billionaires living on some retreat. It's in some mansion in Ohio or something like that. Or Colorado. I don't know, one of the 2. It was not a good movie. It was pointless. It was just all over the place. It seemed like it was like a commentary on billionaires and the way they treat people, and maybe like that. The overall point of it, that's what it was. But truthfully, it rang hollow if that was the case, because then it also turned into like 3 of them trying to kill one of the other billionaires, and I was like, dude, this is just getting wacky for wacky sake. And then I also I decided, because it was right next to it, and I was like, a lot of people were talking about this movie, and the Nicole Kidman movie from last year, Baby Girl. And let me tell you, man, that I'm sure that opened up a whole new world of kinks for all the people who watched that movie, bro. There's a scene, oh my gosh, bro. There's a scene where Nicole Kidman is on all 4s, and he puts a plate of milk down on the ground, and she licks it up, puts her face in it and licks it up. And then he licks it off of her face. I don't know what this movie also in the same realm, just like, I don't know what it was trying to tell, because in the end, spoiler alert, in the end, she She does not lose her family. She doesn't get a divorce from her husband. Her husband essentially forgives her. She's a big CEO and founder of this company. Has no consequences at that company either. I don't understand what the point of this was. It just, I guess maybe like a 50 Shades of Grey thing, but it just, I don't know. Not good. That's all I watched.
Why did you watch it? Was it just like, oh, it's
it
there,
was like cool.
I
was like day off, and like there's a couple movies I haven't seen from 2024. I think Mountain Head was from this year though. Weirdly enough, it's Emmy nominated. I guess it's a television movie technically. So, but that whatever. So I was like, screw it. They're not necessarily on like my backlog of movies, but I was just like, I've seen them in the zeitgeist from the year before, Baby Girl and this one. So I was just like, let me check them out, and I regret it. I regret doing it. So
yeah.
Hayden,
jeez, man.
Hopefully, a better report for you.
Honestly, not a ton. I watched obviously Nobody, which I'll talk about later.
Oh yeah, and I watched Nobody One. I'll say that too.
Yeah, and that was about it, honestly, for movies. I had more of a busier week. Actually, I say that, but it was more so just it was like the first week I didn't have to study a whole lot, and so all my openings I just came home and just relaxed and laid down, and didn't have to commit to anything. So I've just been watching Attack on Titan. I'm actually getting really close to the end. I said last week I'm finally hitting that stretch of season 4 of Breaking Bad, where everything just gets real, spring is dealt with, and like I'm finally hitting that stretch where everything is starting to fall in place. It's just been mind-blowingly insane. And so I've just been making those reactions. We didn't talk about it last week, but One Piece Season 2 trailer came out and looks great. It looks awesome. I'm just watching that week to week, every Sunday. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I haven't been on my grind like I was earlier this month, but much needed break, much needed time to kind of just chill out, and so I've utilized that, man. That's about it.
Yeah. I had a bit of a chiller week, I guess. I've been still doing the MCU rewatch with my wife. We ended up getting to 2 movies this past week, so we've kind of been blazing through, and those were Black Panther, and then yesterday we watched Infinity War, which shockingly was only my third time watching Infinity War. It was theaters. Then the first time I watched it with my wife a few years back when I was first showing her the MCU, and we watched a lot of those together. And then just last night. And I got to say, I've been re-ranking Marvel as we've been watching through them. And so we're through about 20 movies at this point. And my top 3 is literally Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War.
Interesting.
And I know I love Endgame, and I'm going to rank that highly as well. Genuinely, the Russo brothers might have like my 4 favorite films of the entire MCU. It might be their movies. Not even kidding. And I didn't realize that, but my scores have changed slightly on a lot of these movies a little bit. Civil War actually went up. I watched that movie, and I used to always be in the camp of Winter Soldier is better than Civil War. And then when we watched Civil War, I was like, this is the best one we've watched. Like, very clearly to me, this is the best one we've watched. And then even last night, I was just like, is this the best? Is this the best of all of them so far?
Wow.
So Infinity War is fantastic. Black Panther, also a great movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love that movie as well. So a couple banger MCU films, and then rewatching Nobody a couple nights ago, and then obviously watching Nobody 2, which means that I'm all caught up and ready for the discussion later. So really just keeping up with, always watching the first films whenever sequels come out, and then watching some MCU movies. I'm not going to probably have the time to rewatch Peacemaker before next week. I've been pretty busy, and I'm out of town few days next week, which we'll have to talk about at some point just for podcast scheduling stuff for next week's episode. But
traveling man.
Yeah, it was, well, my anniversary, what am I supposed to do?
There we go.
Gotta stay home and podcast, like what
yeah.
Yeah, priorities, right? So yeah.
Who's more important, us or your wife? Come on, man.
That's facts. That's a factual question.
I don't want to dude, she might bust through here. I don't want to. Yeah. But very good week overall though for me. Just, watching things that I've seen other than Nobody 2, but other than that, can't really complain. With that being said, gentlemen, we are moving into our topic of the week. For anybody new here, every single week we do a little question or a topic that we get to have a discussion on, see where we disagree, and really get into the weeds, the nitty-gritty of things. Typically, the host, whoever's hosting for the given week, would just come up with the question, and then on the spot, the others would react. But in the case of this week, I decided to reveal that early so that we could do a little bit of research on it. The question, the topic for this week's episode is, what is the best year for movies of this decade so far? So that is the year 2020 all the way through 2025 thus far. 6 options. Are we going to the wheel? Do we need to wheel this for order?
Oh my gosh, bring her in. Oh, dude, almost back-to-back weeks that we've used the wheel. I love it. I love to see it, I love me some wheel action. Because I was gonna say this has to be one that we just kind of all name, one by one, like, and then get into the discussion afterwards.
Well, I actually think the wheel is like literally just picking who starts and says the year, and then we're probably just going from there. Like,
True. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so the wheel will determine who gets the yap first. It's spinning right now. Oh, that's me. That's me.
Oh, that boy. Me. That boy wants it. He wanted it.
I actually didn't want it, to be fair. But I gotta say,
there's the one correct answer, Ben. Come on.
So yeah, before we started recording, Charlie was adamant that he knew what I would pick. So Charlie, before I reveal it, you have to guess.
Well, I feel like if I say my guess, then I don't know if do you guys think it'll reveal? It won't spoil mine. Okay. I was gonna say it might spoil mine, but I guess if we're just gonna get into it,
we're just gonna get into it.
2022, dude. I feel like 2022. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the objective answer. Like, it's not. I don't think that's.
Oh, y'all are both 2022. I'm 2023.
I'm 2020. What? See, no. Okay. Well, I can't. Not what. My response to that was just instinctual because it was between 2022 and 2023.
Yeah.
But I do think 2022 takes it. But I'm with you for like Dune Part 2, Across the Spider-Verse.
Dune Part 2 was 2024.
Was it? Oh, I guess I'm dumb.
Yeah.
I guess I'm dumb.
So,
okay, so then you're tripping then. I'm sorry. You're tripping.
I want to say, Charlie,
go for it.
I actually thought that you were predicting mine and you thought that I was going to pick it, but that you were like clearly on the other side. I thought you were saying it because you weren't there and you just thought I would pick it.
No, I feel like I knew you had to be 2020, like just the Batman, Avatar, everything everywhere all at once. Like, I just feel like there's no way that
Top
you
Gun's
can't.
The biggest.
Oh, and Top Gun. Yeah. Top Gun as well. Sorry.
RRR. That's when I saw that. I was like,
later.
Oh, hands down. What is it? Bullet Train and RRR. I was like, yeah, there's no way he's not on 20. Like, that is the action.
Bullet Train too. Yeah.
Oh, you bring up Bullet Train. That's like my 20th favorite movie of that year.
Yeah, I'm a big Bullet Train guy.
Yeah, but
that's why I'm 2022.
You know. Yeah. Wow. That's okay. Interesting. Dude, Ben, I'll let you take it away. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll kind of lay out my thoughts with 2022 first, and then Aiden will have to play the defense a little bit.
Wait, we didn't even clip farm it, bro. I just realized we didn't even clip farm it, bro. What are we doing? We didn't even clip farm it. Oh my gosh, man. We suck at getting clips. Golly.
Dude, we have plenty of clips.
We are so bad at this, man.
So for 2022, come on. We have the Batman, which actually, like, upon my last rewatch of the Batman, it might be ranked above Everything Everywhere All at Once for me. That I'm not even joking.
That's not ridiculous. Yeah, it's not ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure, like, I watched the Batman and then I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once again for like the 5th or 6th time or something like that. I was like, I don't know, like, has Everything Everywhere All at Once lost its charm after 6 watches, or is the Batman just that dang good? So you have the Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, definitely favorites of the year. Steven Spielberg movie that I loved, The Fabelmans.
Oh yeah. I
Top
forget you
Gun
love that movie so
Maverick.
much.
Top Gun Maverick, absolute banger. RRR, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, A Glass Onion, A Knives Out
Aiden
Mystery.
only likes 2023 for Babylon, bro.
Yeah.
Did Babylon come out in 2023? It came out in 2022.
What? Was it the end of the year of 2022?
It was December 2022, I believe. Maybe
okay.
even
then that might be why I threw it off.
Yeah, it's 2022.
Glass Onion.
Why are you not being? You're weird, bro.
I'll get into it. I'll get into it.
Glass Onion, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and then Jordan Peele's Nope, which I like more than you guys. That's just to name off, like, those are my top 10 films from the year. And when I look at the competitors, 2023, you know, that to me would definitely be next. But when I look at that, I'm like, we get to like the 6th spot and the 7th spot, and we're talking about like Creed 3 or The Creator or Godzilla -1. And it's like, those just don't stack up to films like Avatar or Puss in Boots to me. So to me, it was just a clear, like, just take the top 10 and compare it between the years. 2022 clears. But there's so many other movies that I could bring up as we, you know, talk about just more the complete year as a whole.
See, I don't know. When I looked at both of these years, I kept getting called back to this one because and granted, a lot of these are movies that I like, that I feel like I like a lot more than Ben, for sure, because, you know, we talked more about it as these movies came out. But you know, Charlie, I don't know, he'd have to combat this because I don't know, I'd wait for his turn. But like, I think of Oppenheimer, possibly Christopher Nolan's best movie. Across the Spider-Verse, I think it is, like, I definitely have that above the Batman as like favorite comic book movies. Like, I think that is probably my favorite comic book movie ever.
I'm with you there.
And then for the emotional side, Past Lives, bawled my eyes out. Like, that is one that we still call back to this day. Iron Claw, again, Charlie, you knew that was my movie. The Holdovers, possibly my favorite Christmas movie of all time. It is genuinely phenomenal. Action, John Wick Chapter 4, Guardians Volume 3, Dead Reckoning, and then like Creed 3, like Creed freaking 3, all of these in the same year. And then just other extra ones like Talk to Me, Poor Things, which I think Poor Things is a 4.5 out of 5 star movie. Talk to Me, 4 out of 5 stars. But even like Barbie, which I love, The Boy and the Heron, absolutely adore that movie. And then just the extra ones, Mutant Mayhem, Blackberry, which I'm a big fan of. Like, I don't know,
Mutant Mayhem.
Not Fight Club. it reminds me of Fight Club. Bottoms, absolutely wonderful movie. Like, there were just so many on here that I was like, I'm so high on all of these that when I look at 2022, like, I get it. And again, it's a big back and forth. We were talking about it before we started. I can give it to you. Like, I'm not knocking you at all. But when I look at 2023, I'm like, I don't know. I look at all of those movies, and like, for me, the top 5 in 2022, which in my opinion would be like Way of Water, Everything Everywhere, Batman, Maverick, and like RRR and Puss in Boots. Everything else, I'm like, I'd probably give it to 2023. Like, a lot of these other movies are like 3.5 out of 5s that, you know, there are more 4 out of 5 movies in 2023 that, like, they overall, like, yes, 2022 had the bigger hitters, 1,000%, had the best of the best. I think I might even have like more 2022 movies in my top of the decade than 2023. But overall, like, that curve, I think 2023 absolutely knocks it out of the park. Like, I hated The Menu. I hated Banshees of Inisherin. Tar was boring. Decision to Leave was good, but, you know, not like breathtaking amazing. The Whale was ass. The Woman King was all right. Fablemans, I liked a decent amount. Like, it's just, I don't know. When I start to go back to when I do these back to back, I'm gonna always give it to 2023.
I just think for every project that you just listed there, if you were disappointed, it's like you also have The Northman. You also have, I don't know if you watched the movie On the Count of Three. That movie,
Yes, I did. That movie's
that
great.
movie
Yeah.
floored me. You have A Bullet Train. You have A Prey. You have A Pearl. Like for every
Prey was one that I was like, okay, yeah.
For me, those all fall into the 4 out of 5 range versus
but
2023. I don't have as many of those.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you name all of those. What I would use to combat those, like movies that I think are better than all of those, and I'm saying that for the sake of exaggeration, but movies that I think are like better than all of those, that I would kind of rank in the same if we're comparing years, is like The Boy and the Heron, Talk to Me, Poor Things, Mutant Mayhem, the Ninja Turtles movie, Dead Reckoning, Bottoms, Extraction 2. Like those, like these are all movies that like I'm higher on those in that category than I am in 2022. Extraction 2, 3.5 out of 5. Like, I mean, that's just,
I want to say one last thing before Charlie gets in on this. I will say, I think what I'll give 2023 over 2022 is film selection. If you're looking at it just at face value, you have a Christopher Nolan movie that checks off a box, a film in the Spider-Verse franchise, a John Wick movie, the best Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the best Mission Impossibles, the best Godzilla film, Barbie. Like, you're checking, there's so many boxes that are checked, but 2022 has like the quality, but they're more unique films. They're not a part of a franchise that you love, like Everything Everywhere All at Once or RRR, Fablemans. Like, there's more, like, I guess, uniqueness within the film selection. So I'll give you that 2023, like,
I'll give you that.
At face value, those are the projects that like I love and hold at a special place in my heart. But I would still overall give it 2022.
So I'm hype moments in aura now. What the hell? What are we doing here, dude?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Aiden was kind of swaying me a little bit. He was kind of swaying, like he was
I don't know, like.
Well, I mean,
I just give you the 2022s. Like, they have the big, like, those top 3 are the big.
Sure, yeah.
That's 2023, man.
A lot of what I've been writing on as well, and obviously, like, I have a natural draw to 23 because I said like these are the 2 years that I was going back and forth with. I have a natural draw to 2023 just because of Across the Spider-Verse alone. Like, that's one of my favorite movies of all time, kind of thing. So obviously, like, that is just inherently going to bring me in. And like, I forgot about things like John Wick 4, and even after I did my research on it, I somehow did not see that John Wick 4 had come out in 2023. I completely forgot. And even stuff like Creed 3, which Aiden, I know, just rewatched it. But it's interesting to me that he brings that up because didn't you just say you dropped it like half a star or something last week when you rewatched them?
Down to a 4 out of 5. But,
okay.
I mean, still a great movie.
Okay. I guess I didn't know you had it at a 4.5.
And honestly, possibly the last Creed movie. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. The end to the trilogy. I don't know.
Do you think Oppenheimer is better than Interstellar though? Because you said really.
No,
really?
No way, dude.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree with that one. I do think Oppenheimer is great.
I think for sure. Also, another movie I didn't mention, Air, the Air biopic.
That was a good movie.
I like that one a lot. Charlie, I think if you watch The Holdovers, I don't know, you might jump over here to the.
See, that's what that's what I should have watched today instead of stupid ass Mountainhead, stupid ass Baby Girl. Oh my goodness, bro! I should have watched The Holdover because low-key, I think the same.
Also, Ben, to your point, a Martin Scorsese film with Killers of the Flower Moon, but I didn't like that movie, so
I actually never watched it.
It's
I want to bring up one point that I actually think is very crucial to what, to me, drags down 2023. This is a very important point. It was potentially one of, if not the worst years for comic book movies in recent history. You had Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, The Flash, and The Marvels. The only good comic book movie was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that year. Everything else was terrible. And you could extend this. You could also
Across
say,
the Spider-Verse.
well, yeah, but you know,
yeah,
I'm talking MCU and DC.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
And you could extend that to other franchises. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
They brought back Indiana Jones, and it's just like a terrible addition to the franchise and a terrible send off to the character. Like this was a year where you had franchise films that hit like crazy. Mission Impossible, John Wick, absolutely.
Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, Scream 6, like
I'm
good
there
movies.
For those. I'm there
good
for
movies,
those.
Good franchise movies.
But then you bring up some of those others, and it just,
that's a good point. Yeah,
that's rough. That's rough. When you know we're big on the MCU. We're big on comic book movies. I would say that for most of us, superhero films, like that's our bread and butter. If we're getting good superhero movies, we're happy basically no matter what. So when you have a year like this, where you have the peaks, which is one of the best comic book movies ever in Across the Spider-Verse and one of the best MCU movies ever in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's great. But you also have 5 other movies in The Flash and Quantumania, Shazam, Aquaman, and the Marvels that are just terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Let's but see, the Marvels in the same same conversation as the Flash and Quantumania and Aquaman.
I also feel like to that, like to combat that point, it also like kind of lets those other like movies breathe, such as -1, Past Lives, Iron Claw, Oppenheimer, Chapter 4. Like I don't know, it kind of let like those other ones shine a bit more. Whereas with 2022, it's like, you know, you have some of those spread out. I mean, the comic book, it's the opposite. The comic book movies are great, but the other movies just don't really stack up against the other ones in 2023.
But it's we
also had Thor: Love and Thunder in 2022 though as well.
Yeah, it's really not the opposite. You had like a really good spread where you had your peak at the Batman, you had your low at like Thor: Love and Thunder and Black Adam, but then you also had your Multiverse of Madness as well. Like it was a much better balance
and
versus
Wakanda
like
Forever.
And Wakanda Forever. That's like a perfect normal spread for what you would expect from a year of comic book movies. You know, not a great spread, but kind of what we would come to expect nowadays between the different franchises. Versus 2023, it's like, here's 2 at the top. Here's bottom of the barrel for 5 projects.
All right, dude.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I would say the Marvels is I would say the Marvels is at the level of like a little bit under Wakanda Forever. I would not say it's at the same level of those other ones, but yes.
Well, and that's the other. That's the thing. I would also say like, here's the Batman. Here's Wakanda Forever. Here's Multiverse of Madness. Like that's just one extra one. Like, I don't know. It's just like, okay, so you're saying that 2022 should be rewarded for having some 8 out of 10s and not just 2 10 out of 10s, like for sake of a better spread. Like,
but it also has 10 out of 10s. Like, what are we saying?
Well, it has the Batman, and then it has like like the Batman 10 out of 10, Wakanda Forever 8 out of 10, Multiverse Madness 8 out of 10, where you have 2 10 out of 10 greatest comic book movies of all time, and then the rest are ass. Okay,
are you going to sit here and say that as a whole, overall, you think that 2023 has better comic book movies overall compared to 2022?
No, not at all. Like that, my point more so was, you said we have a better spread, like, you know, with comic book movies in 2022, whereas, you know, you have Batman, Wakanda, Multiverse of Madness, and then, you know, the other ones afterwards. I haven't scrolled down anymore to check them out. Also, you have Sonic 2, which is a good point. You should have brought up that point if you wanted to sway me a little bit. But anyways, you like for those comic book movies, it's like, okay, with 2023. We have 2 10 out of 10 comic book movies, Spider-Verse and Guardians. With 2023, we have 1 10 out of 10 and then 2 8 out of 10s. So like, it's kind of the same, honestly. Like, if you were to tell me, would you rather have 2 10 out of 10 comic book movies and the rest be, you know, mid to low, or like 7 and lower, 6 and lower, or would you rather have 1 10 out of 10, 2 8 out of 10s, and then the rest be ass? It's like, I don't know. To me, that's kind of the same. I don't even know if I would give a definitive answer. So that kind of defeats your point, because then after that, everything around those, I think, are better than everything around 2022 in terms of other movies that aren't franchise. But again, that's the thing. This is like all of my taste. Like I name all of these 2023 movies, and it's because I'm so high on them. Like Oppenheimer. I mean, y'all just literally were like, wait, Interstellar? And it's like, yeah, I think Oppenheimer's the best one, right? And then Holdovers, which Ben, have you watched Holdovers or no?
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. So like, you know, it I don't know. Iron Claw I felt very attached to. Past Lives I still bring up every other week on this podcast. And so a lot of those are more like, yeah, these all hit for me. Like I like these a lot. Compared to some of the 2022 movies that just didn't really hit all that much. I could see other people, because I know people widely absolutely love Banshees of Inisherin, After Sun, and Decision to Leave. And like, granted, I haven't seen After Sun, but I know a lot of people love those, and people even think like Nope is like one of the best Jordan Peele movies ever. And so like, I could see more, you know, critical like film people being like, no, this is the one, this is it, because you know those are a lot of movies that they show up for. I think Banshees of Inisherin sucks, but I've seen so many people be like, this is the best movie of the 2020s. And so, you know, maybe 2023 is a hype moments in aura year, and I'm falling victim to it.
Truthfully, I'll be honest, I mean, having this conversation and also just going back and forth between the lists, it is tough. It is tough.
Yeah,
because I also
y'all
like Barbie.
have started
I think
to
Barbie's
sway me.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, y'all started to sway me with 2022. I was like, okay, well, you know,
yeah, it's tough.
I do think it's a fence sitter one. I'm kind of a fence sitter, but if I had to commit, it'd be 2022.
Let's talk about how bad 2024 was, though. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is hidden for me. Dude, like, you have a definitive, my favorite movie of the entire, like, probably ever, with Dune Part 2. I think Dune Part 2 is my favorite movie of all time.
So good.
That's it.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. For me, Dune Part 2, 5 out of 5. One of my favorite movies ever. In the top 10, definitely. Probably even in the top 5. I don't have any 4.5 out of 5 star movies at all from 2024.
Trap? No.
But I will be honest, you know, this is something to take into account. In 2022, this is insane. What was I on that year? I watched 108 2022 releases.
Holy.
In 2023, that went down to 85, and then last year it went down to 40. Wow. Which I'll surpass that this year. But
yeah.
I've slowly been watching, like, it ramped up 2021 to 2022, and then it's been down a little bit. But sheer quantity of movies that, you know, I watched way less last year. But even so, like, I mean, it wasn't a bad year. There was a lot of just like consistent good and not a lot of peaks. Like,
yeah,
A Quiet Place Day 1, The New Planet of the Apes, The Wild Robot, Inside Out.
What did you guys have long
Alien,
legs at? You guys were long legs lovers, weren't you?
I didn't have
a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I appreciate long legs. I don't see why a lot of people hate it. But yeah, I'd probably say 4 out of 5 too.
Yeah. So not a great year. Dune Part 2 kind of carries it, but
God, Dune, man, 2024 really sucked, dude.
Did you like I Saw the TV Glow, Aiden? I thought you liked that one a lot.
I did not watch it. I didn't watch it.
I thought you did. Who am I thinking?
I wanted to. I talked about really wanting to, but
yeah.
And then 2021, I honestly just didn't watch a lot of movies that year, but I've seen a lot of people.
It's a pretty good year. Like, obviously, you have No Way Home, Dune Part 1, The Suicide Squad, No Time
Eternals.
to Die. You have A Quiet Place Part 2, Shang-Chi. I really liked Malignant, Pig with Nicolas Cage.
Ligma?
What?
I said Ligma.
No. There's a lot of heaters in here. I'm not going to lie. I would definitely prefer 2021 over 2024. 2020 doesn't really count. Like, there's barely any good movies in there. Like, I think my favorite movies from 2020 are Tenet and The Invisible Man. Like, those are the only ones that come to mind because there's so few releases. But other than that, 2024 might be the worst year of the decade so far.
Yeah, that's rough. All right, so now I kind of want to jump into something, if I can, Ben, if I can jump in a little bit on your segment. How do we think 2025 so far like holds up against?
I think so far it's fantastic. I was actually just about to say that I think 2024 was setting up for like a 2025 year, because also we got to think of like 2024 was like the holdover after the 2023 strike and everything like that. Strikes plural. So I think 2025 we're seeing like the things that got to continue after the strikes were over. So, and 2026 seems like it's going to be another one of those jam-packed banger full years. So but to talk about 2025, I think so far it's shaping up to be phenomenal.
I
think it already has been phenomenal, and we're not even we are over halfway.
It's been great.
It's easily past last year, in my opinion. Like, you had Dune Part 2, but then you just kind of, it's a big dip versus this year, at least for me. I know I'm higher on these films than you guys. Like Superman, F1, Weapons, Sinners, just those are all such phenomenal films. And I hope that the year rounds out really nice. There's a couple projects I just need them to hit. Like Tron Ares. That will.
That's
I'm sorry. I know, but for me, as literally a lifelong Tron Legacy fan, you don't understand how much that means to me. And so the fact that we're getting a new Tron movie and I get to see it in theaters already, I'm there for it. And honestly, I know, Jared Leto, he gets a lot of hate. He's in a movie and people make assumptions. In the movie, he literally plays an NPC clone.
We also forgot to add Morbius to. I just realized him saying Jared Leto. We forgot to add Morbius to 2022 as superhero projects as well.
Oh wow! Yeah,
as part of our spread, we forgot to add Morbius to that one.
The reason,
which honestly, might put it on there now. Jeez.
Dude, the reason I didn't bring that up is because, like I said, I saw 108 2022 releases, and it's 104th. And so it's on the second page of the list, and I didn't even see it. Didn't register in my brain at all. That's funny. So Jared Leto, he literally plays an NPC clone. So his terrible acting actually fits the role.
Sure.
And so it's like I'm all of a sudden fine with him being this character. Doesn't mean I'm not worried about the movie. I think there's going to be massive issues with how they're doing it, where it's more real world based and they're talking about worlds colliding. Part of what made Tron Legacy so special for me is that you're in the world of Tron for 95% of the movie. That's what made it so special, is you were there the whole time.
In Legacy,
this isn't going to go for that approach. At least it doesn't seem like it. So for that reason, I'm already hesitant. But I need, genuinely, of any movie that I'm hesitant on that I need to hit for the rest of this year, it goes to that movie. Because Avatar
How many times did you see it in theaters when you were younger?
I never saw it in theaters.
You never did? Okay.
I was 8 years old when it came out.
Oh, no, that's what, because I was going to say is I feel like it might have been your Spider, because me, I was 7 years old when Spider-Man 3 came out. I saw Spider-Man 3 in theaters. I begged my dad to take me I don't know, 6-7 times I saw that movie in theaters.
Jeez.
So I thought I was gonna say that's what it was for you, because I was 10 when Tron Legacy came out, 10 or 11.
Damn!
Oh my god! I genuinely I rarely.
These kids were 7.
I didn't go to any movies when I was growing up, ever. Genuinely,
okay.
We went to see Frozen. The first Marvel movie I saw was actually, I think I saw the Avengers at a drive-in theater or something at 10 years old, which is crazy. So,
okay, who's real Unk now? Okay, I've never even been to a drive-in theater. Okay, we want to talk about Unk.
How is that Unk? Wait, that's not. We're talking about
those are old as hell.
We're literally talking about the community of people that we were a part of. The parents drove the kids out so that the kids could have fun, play catch with each other, and then watch a movie late at night. That's what it was. Literally, our parents
That's Unk, bro.
slept in the car while we watched a movie. Like,
dude, I went to a drive-in theater like 2 years ago in Texas.
What the okay, Texas? Yeah, I'm sure they're that old town spirit down in Texas. I'm sure they got tons of those lines.
We have a drive-in like 20 minutes away from me. I've been
you got an unk-ass town in Illinois, bro. Get with the times. That's crazy, man.
Bro, your unk-ass town doesn't even have an IMAX. What are you talking about? Get with the times. It's correct.
Yeah, you got me there. You got me there.
Charlie,
you got me there.
We clearly learned from our trip a couple years ago that not all IMAXs are the same. And
very true.
I was used to one IMAX. I thought about this actually recently.
Dude, I feel like the one we went to in Anaheim was actually awful. Like even looking back at my time in Sinners, like it was way better. It was way bigger.
I genuinely thought about this the other day when I was at my theater. I was like, I kind of wish that like Charlie could just rock up here and walk into this room. Just see how big it is. Just like see hundreds of empty seats and this huge screen. But yeah, I need Tron Ares to hit. I'm excited to watch it in theaters. But like there's other movies coming out. Wicked's probably going to be a pretty good movie. Avatar Fire and Ash, it's going to be a great movie.
Marty Supreme trailer looked amazing. Like Marty Supreme
looked pretty good. My boy
Jeremy
Kevin
Allen,
O'Leary.
Jeremy Allen White's biopic, Bruce Springsteen biopic.
Yeah.
Like
PTA. None of those movies, I have no doubt that they're going to be good movies. Tron Ares is the only one that I'm like hesitant on. Yeah. I need that to not be garbage. I need it to not be trash. I'm holding out so much hope for it. And I'm also prepared to be let down.
Yeah. Predator Badlands too. Just like naming. I mean that trailer and Tron Ares trailer, I mean, blow my mind every time I watch them. Like just pure like scale and awesome action. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. 2025 could be goated. I don't know if it would come close to 22 or 23 though.
I don't think
we'll see. Time will tell.
I mean, I'll just throw this out here, and we've talked about it a little bit. Next year, absolutely is a contender to take the #1 spot with Dune Part 3, with The Odyssey, with Spider-Man: Brand New Day, Avengers: Doomsday. As much as we're hesitant, like it has. If all 4 of those are like the peak of what we want them to be for each of those projects, that already might sway it.
Here's the thing.
That might be it. It's all it needs.
I talked about 2022 having the best Spider-Man movie ever and the best Christopher Nolan movie ever. 2026 could have the best Spider-Man movie ever and the best Christopher Nolan movie ever. So I mean, that's about as close as I can see us getting. And it might even have the best Avengers movie ever. I don't know. Hey, we'll see.
I don't think that's happening. I don't think that is happening.
That's not happening. But the other thing, and Charlie, this doesn't excite you as much. Although, I hope that you actually get into this a little bit and give it a chance just because you did that with Andor and Rogue One. We're getting a new Star Wars movie. One directed by
Grogu.
One directed by Jon Favreau, The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's directed by Jon Favreau, produced by Dave Filoni. They have been at the helm of the best stuff that Disney has released since they took ownership of Star Wars. Whether you're talking about the Clone Wars, the animated side of things, whether you're talking about The Mandalorian, season 3 was a bit of a doozy. But other than that, they've been carrying Star Wars. You take them out and you're talking about the rest of Star Wars that Disney has done is straight garbage other than Rogue One. Everything else is terrible. Yeah. It's like Rogue One and then the Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni stuff is the exception. So the fact that we're getting a new Star Wars movie and they're making it and it's The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
And Andor.
I'm very interested.
And the Andor stuff is good. Or did you say take out Andor?
Yeah. Okay. No. Like Andor and Rogue One is kind of its own pocket thing. The Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, and then everything else. But the thing is, and this is probably a conversation for another day. The writer of Andor, Tony Gilroy, he just cares so much and is such a phenomenal writer. That's what makes that so great. Gareth Edwards is a pretty good movie director overall. He's had his misses. Jurassic World was but he's a pretty good movie director overall. So that's what makes that pocket so good. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they also are just like in their bag when it comes to Star Wars. They know how to handle those things. And yeah, they fumbled a little bit with The Mandalorian season 3, but other than that, everything just hits. Then you contrast it with, if this was a J.J. Abrams Star Wars movie or a Rian Johnson's Star Wars movie, I would be a little hesitant, but I trust them with Star Wars. So these individual pockets where you have people who actually understand how to craft things in the universe, those are always going to be the ones that I'm the most excited for.
They know how to craft your guys' little nostalgia brain, bro. Your little hype moments and aura
High
brains,
moments and
bro.
aura brains.
Yeah. And that one you can't even fight, bro. All right. Mandalorian season 2 ending with Luke Skywalker coming in. Oh my God.
Star Wars was built on high moments and aura. All right, man.
Yeah, bro.
You let us be.
But then Andor though, bro. Oh my God. Give me stuff like Andor. I will be a Star Wars fan the rest of my life, bro. I promise. Dude, I literally think about that show once a day. I'm not lying. That it is so fucking good, man.
The peaks of Andor far outweigh Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of Mandalorian season 2.
1,000%. Andor is the greatest Star Wars show.
I think Mandalorian, you could take that moment out. Yeah, I think it's a great moment. I love to see it. And I like that he was even involved in the future projects a little bit. He was actually training Grogu. He was around. But you take that out, Mandalorian season 1 and 2 is still absolute peak.
Still amazing, bro. It is still great.
So good.
And you mentioned this at the beginning of this conversation. Like I am, of course I'm going to see that movie, but like I have to, because I still haven't seen season 3 of The Mandalorian. I know you guys say it's not great, but I still want to watch it. Just be up in the know what's going on. And also like now I have to watch, because I'm going to rewatch seasons 1 and 2, and I also have to watch the Boba Fett show because a lot of the crossover came in with that because I have not touched that show.
You can just watch one episode of Boba Fett. That's all you need.
I think it's
is it
2
2
episodes? Yeah.
Oh, they're only in 2 episodes.
There's one big one, but then
do I need to watch Ahsoka? Did they show up in Ahsoka? No,
they didn't. No. But
Ahsoka shows up in season 3 Mando, right?
Season 2.
Yeah, I remember seeing her in season 2.
It's season 2? Oh, before Luke comes? Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, but genuinely, I think it's like episode 5 or 6 of the Book of Boba Fett is a Mandalorian episode, full stock. Genuinely full stock.
One of the best Mandalorian episodes ever. It is amazing.
Really? Oh, okay. It's great. This is the first I've heard that. I've not heard that.
It is. Yeah. It is phenomenal stuff. And then I think it's like a full episode and then like kind of another half episode where he's involved in other things. I mean, you could still just kind of knock out the whole show if you wanted the full picture of it. It's probably better than just watching a couple episodes. But
when does that movie come out? May next year?
I think it's May.
I thought it was March. It's May. Oh yeah, because it was going to be with Doomsday, same day as Doomsday.
Did they already film it, or are they still?
Oh yeah,
I think they're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the leaked trailer online.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh wait, yeah, because they showed the trailer at Star Wars Fest or whatever it is.
Jeremy Allen White is also in the movie, Charlie. If that.
Oh yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he's playing.
One of the Hutts.
Yeah, Hutts. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I thought I had seen it, and while I'm looking for it, I also found a Luthen edit. That is just.
Oh man, dude, Andor is so fucking good, bro. Andor is so good. What are we talking about?
It's to the same audio that they use for that one Creed edit. So
isn't that? I think didn't you send us that one?
I might have.
Bodies.
I also it's still up on Instagram. Aiden, I'm going to send this to you, and I genuinely I was gonna say you should watch it right now, but you don't have to watch it right now. But it's just a snippet. It's a snippet from the trailer from wherever it was shown. Like I don't know, 6 months ago, a year ago. What was it? Star Wars Celebration.
Star Wars Celebration. That's what it's called.
I'm watching right now.
Dude, I'm so incredibly happy. I mean, Charlie, are you with me there that if these movies of 2026 hit like they should, that this could
be the best year? Yeah.
This could be the year. This could be 100%. The year.
100%. 100,000%.
Oh my god, dude. Just the way that he moves, like the way that they feel like his action scenes. God, he is just like he is the embodiment of aura. Like not like bro, there's no doubt like the embodiment of aura.
You seen this one shot though? You seen this one shot?
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking at it right now. It's the cape does wonders for him. It's called Beskar, right?
Yeah, Beskar armor.
Dude, the Beskar, it looks so good every time.
I absolutely love that. Me just remembering we were getting a Star Wars movie has spawned 10-15 minutes of conversation about Star Wars. I'm
so good, dude.
I live for that. I'm thriving right now.
We're up, but unfortunately, we
if it ain't Andor, I don't care.
Dude, great. I can't wait to talk about like Emmys for a little bit whenever we do that episode.
So you've seen seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Did you like the show?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know why I never ended up watching season 3. I don't know why. I think because like Book of Boba Fett came out, and then because I originally thought that like they were part of the entire show of Book of Boba Fett, and I was like, and I wasn't watching that show. I was like, well, now I have to watch that show before I watch season 3.
No, but you do have to watch that episode and a half for season 3.
Yeah, it's kind of bogus because imagine Aiden, dude. Imagine that wasn't in Book of Boba Fett, but instead that like episode and a half was the start of Mandalorian season 3. Because Mandalorian season 3, it's literally just like the middle part for me. It starts off fine, the middle is rough, and then I really enjoy the last 2 episodes of the season.
I think they're very grounded, which is what the show needed.
Yeah. But dude, if they had restructured it and not spent that like hour or whatever storytelling and shoved that into the worst Star Wars show.
Well, because he's like, he's in such a cool position after like giving up Grogu, where like whenever we see him, it's just like straight. Oh, like I'm on my god, dude! Hell yeah, he is him. It's so good, dude.
See, and I still need to. I also want to watch. I want to watch the Acolyte, even though I know it's a whole thing. But honestly, I feel like that's a show I could probably come out of it and like it more than other people.
I think you would. I think you would.
And then the what's the John Watts Skeleton Crew? That one. I've not seen that one
pretty
either.
Good. Brendan talked a lot about how it was good.
Yeah. I never got around to finishing it. I probably should at some point, but
yeah.
Anyways, enough Star Wars talk. Never enough, but enough for today at least.
Yeah, I love how we just like ended it. If you were to tell me we would end this discussion off talking about Star Wars, I would have said you're out of your mind.
Yeah, that's you should probably timestamp that as its own little section of just about Star Wars talk. But moving in to the movie of this week, which again, like I brought up recently, we had this like crazy month in the summer, but we're still getting a new release that we're like decently excited for basically every single week. And that inherently is that's.
And then Peacemaker for next week, which like we're going to see Ninja too. So like that's a good week for us, but still, I mean, like Peacemaker to then bridge that gap into like the end of the year Oscar movies and whatnot. Like, man, we have ate so well this entire, like, bro, just think about it. The beginning of the year, Severance, Invincible, Spider-Man, like, bro, Andor. After that, like, hits after hits, and then summer was great. Yeah, it's awesome,
dude. And the fact that it's crazy to think we've been here basically every single week.
Yes, bro.
This has been such a peak year. Just like as a whole, this has been such a peak year. So
great year to do a list. So,
Yep.
Or a draft, whatever.
Oh, we didn't do a little.
I know, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, we don't need to. We don't need to. Let's leave it. Let's leave it alone. Let's leave it alone.
Yep. More people are watching Andor, which means the positive reviews are rolling in because it's so good. Charlie, you should like that.
Me.
You should like that, Charlie.
I do like that to a degree, but I don't like that it helps you.
Okay. So moving on to Nobody 2. The sequel to the 2021 film, which stars Bob Odenkirk. The original film was directed by, I believe it's pronounced Isla Neishuler. And I actually saw this recently in an interview that they were talking to Isla and seeing if he was going to be directing the second Nobody film, but he was already committed to direct the action movie that just recently came out on Amazon Prime called Heads of State with John Cena and Idris Elba. Jack Quaid, a couple other notable names. I actually thought about checking that out at some point, just like as a dumb action comedy, and it doesn't have bad ratings. So not that it has great ratings, but it doesn't have bad ratings. So instead, for Nobody 2, they brought in Timo. I think it's Tajanto, I believe is how it's said. I could be wrong about that. Apologies if I absolutely butchered that. But he is a director who I actually know about because he directed a movie for Netflix in 2018 called The Night Comes for Us. And that is like, think of like The Raid, where it's literally just like you watch it for the action. There's very little plot. There's a tiny plot that's being pushed, but it just allows for these incredible action scenes. So literally, like when I rewatched The Raid and The Raid 2 with my friends maybe a year and a half ago, right afterwards I told them I've got another movie that isn't quite as good as the Raid movies, but it will still, like, if you're looking for just that pure great action, this is another movie that will kind of tickle that itch. And we watched that movie and they loved it. So I was excited for him directing Nobody 2. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out there at the forefront. I know I'm kind of already getting into it, but our reaction to Nobody 2 in 3, 2, 1.
Wow. That shit was ass.
Wait, why do you have it sideways then? Go down then, bro. Stick to your guns.
Wait, Charlie, you put a thumbs up?
Yeah, I had to put a thumbs up, man. I think it's better than the first one.
You are tripping. What are we talking about? What?
Dude, what? Dude, the first one, I rewatched the first one before this, and I thought the first one was ass. Like, the first one I thought was so beyond mid. Like, what are we talking about?
You're so out of your fucking mind right now. What are you talking about?
No.
Ass piece of shit you thought was better than Nobody?
Yes, I thought it was dude, the concept of like the final fight was way cooler than the last final fight. No, dude, no.
So goofy, bro. They couldn't even
exactly. It's goofy. Hold on. I think that's the point of this franchise. Like, it's not like John Wick. It's a wackier John Wick. It's a wackier John Wick. That's what it is.
I could say that for Nobody 2 is that, or for the first Nobody is that, yeah, like this is John Wick, but just like a family man or like whatever. Like, but this one is so silly for
Bro, we have so much to get into.
Oh my god!
No, man,
we have so much.
Wow, these guys hate fun, bro.
I actually want to start off on this point of like the silliness is the point of this franchise. Absolutely not. The first one is not silly in the slightest.
Yeah, it is, buddy.
Listen, no, it's not.
Dude, look how the movie. Thing. Oh, okay.
Continue. Yeah. Pipe down. Good boy. The whole movie is the home invasion, and he doesn't want to get back into it. He's reluctant of getting back into it, but he's so mad and he's so frustrated. He's looking for this release.
Dude, the movie opens with him pulling a cat out of his pocket and feeding it on a table. What are we talking about? What?
That's not goofy.
That's not goofy at all.
How's that not goofy? We're starting an action movie and he just pulls a cat out on a table when he's arrested by police officers. He just pulls a cat out on a table.
Because then at the end of the movie, it's because his daughter wanted a cat and he saved it after the big action.
That doesn't make it not. That doesn't make it not a goofy scene. What are you talking about,
Charlie?
That doesn't make it not a goofy scene.
No,
that's not. I'm not rage baiting. That literally doesn't. That doesn't make it not a goofy scene. Just because you can back it up with plot details doesn't mean that it's not a wacky or goofy thing. That doesn't. What?
Here's how it's not goofy. It sets the tone perfectly for the movie, which is he's sitting there.
A cat.
Hold. He's sitting there. He is beat up. Okay, he lights a cigar in the interrogation room. He pulls out the cat. It's the slow motion, whatever. And then the detectives ask him, "Who are you?" "Me? I'm," cut to title card. It perfectly sets the tone for who he is. Going back in time, we're about to go on this journey. I don't think it's goofy in the slightest.
Okay, and so let's take that then. And if that's your take on that, okay, fine. Guess what the second movie does? The exact same thing. The exact same thing.
Yes,
and it's fine. At that point, I was like, cool. Like, we're keeping this theme. This is freaking awesome. I was
fine with that.
All right, so then what are we complaining about? Where did it go off the rails?
You know what I'm not fine with? Who are you? His better half? What the fuck are we doing? Don't mess with Mama Bear. What?
Okay, that was cringe. That was cringe.
Name a single line in the first Nobody that was as abysmal as that. And then tell me that the first Nobody was goofy and that this franchise is goofy.
One of the things that the Russian guy said in the first movie.
Oh, a villain, not our main character. Cool.
Oh my god. Oh, the main character didn't say what you're complaining about in the second one. What do you mean?
The literal wife of our main character.
Oh my god. Okay. So now at first it was like your point was the main character, but now it's the wife though. It's the wife. You admit it's the wife.
Okay. So then answer me this: why did she just leave the cabin, not knowing that leaving her son to defend them when an army of soldiers are coming? She just leaves them so that she can go help Saul Goodman out, like Hutch Manziel out. Cool. She just leaves the kid there. She has no idea that Riza or RZA, I forgot how to pronounce his name, is going to go over there and protect them. Yeah, let me just leave my son there. Name something in the first movie that's as dumb as that. And then tell me that one's as goofy.
Well, sure. But I don't think that makes it goofy or not, that decision. I think that's just a leap in logic. Which
it's bad.
Those are the kind of complaints that I had about weapons last week too. And so I don't know.
It's none of the structure that we had in the first movie.
I would argue the structure is almost exactly the same. In fact, what I was going to come into this this review, I was going to say.
Yeah, that's interrogation.
I was going to come into this review saying was like, it's the same, but different. Like it overwhelmingly is the same movie. It's this even down to like almost the same conflicts between him and his wife, just slightly different, like marital problems, but just this time it seems more severe from her side of things. Now, granted, I don't think that's explored very well, which is why I don't give it like 2 thumbs up or like a stupid run out of the room reaction, you know?
Okay, wait, did you guys understand that, by the way? You guys like, oh, he ran out of the room. I ran like I was in weapons.
We got it. I got it.
Rewatching your guys' reactions, I thought you guys just thought it was like popping.
No, it's just because we instantly were like, we were both not on. We noticed that you running out of the room like that meant that you liked it a lot. And that him and I were closer to each other.
I was like, no, because I was like 2 movie reviews in a row.
Yeah.
But Charlie, it's your turn, buddy, to get grilled now. Ben,
okay.
I want you to give it to him, bro.
Here's what I'll say. I will say that at face value, the events that happen in this movie do play very similarly to the events that happen in the first movie. Mm-hmm. However, the big difference is the character work and the motive that Hutch has that made the second one way worse and way more silly than the first film, in my opinion. In the first movie, he has this built-up rage, this built-up anger, the home invasion. He wants to protect his family. He doesn't want to be brought back in. But then he has this moment where he realizes that that's what he has to do. He has to have this release, and then that gets him involved in something that he doesn't want to be involved in, and then he deals with it, okay? In this movie, hold. In this movie, yes, there are hints of that happening, that same exact thing happening. The difference is that he now has his wife who is very clearly telling him, Hutch, do not do this. Do not go back into that arcade. Do not go and instigate. Do not go punch that individual. We are on vacation. You are taking a break from these things. Very proactively telling him, do not do it. And yet, time and time again in this movie, he continues to get involved in things that he shouldn't and instigate in things that he shouldn't. Whereas in the first movie, it does not. It very clearly lays it out, his motive and his character, that he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be dragged back in. But this movie, it feels like he just wants it. Even though he's told time and time again, we're on vacation, don't do it. He still does. And then eventually it goes too far and then he has to deal with it. To me, the motive is completely different, Where in the first one, it's more justified. It makes more sense with
how does he not want to be dragged back in the first one? There are literal scenes in the first movie where he goes out to his car, he's crossing his fingers for the Russian guy to come running out after he made a deal. He was like, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. How about that? He gets to the car, sits there, crosses his fingers, hoping he comes running out. He comes running out, and then he gets to do more. How can we say that is he does not want any part of this life anymore in the first movie? How can we say that?
Here's the difference. In the first movie, he sits there and hopes that someone else comes to him so that he can continue because part of him does want that. In this movie, he's the one who's walking away and decides to backtrack, walk back into the building multiple times.
To help somebody.
What about the arcade? What about the arcade scene?
If somebody hit my daughter, what are you talking? Dude, I was actually going to bring this up in the review too. I know they showed that scene in the trailers, but some about it in the movie this time. Trailers. Oh, you didn't? Bro, they showed that in the trailers. Like yeah, dude, in the movie, some like it hit so much harder this time. I was like, dude, even my girlfriend, she turned to me and she said, oh, hell nah, I'm turning back in there. You got me fucked up. Like, dude, what do you mean? Of course he's going to turn back in there. That is, what kind of complaint is that?
No, I agree with you to an extent, obviously, that he should protect his daughter. I think he should have just done it right away. But he pulls back up and just starts doming all the workers, grabbing the claw from a claw machine.
Well, because one of the guys tried to, yeah. He did admit that to the cops, like he lost his shit after he walked in, hit the guy immediately that did the thing to his daughter, and then some guy tried to be a hero, some random guy, and he's like, "Oh, buddy, what you gonna come in here and cause problems?" And then he starts beating the hell out of that guy. Sure, so I'll give you that. Like that was out of left field. He didn't need to do all that, but still, like. And as for you saying he should have done it right away, I have no problem because like he's trying to be better for his wife, who he knows is feeling lonely because now he's so involved in this life. He's never home anymore. This is the one time where he's supposed to be working on being together in their relationship. So he's trying to adhere to what his wife is asking him to do. But then he's like, nah, I cannot let that guy get away with slapping my daughter on the back of her head. And so he turns around and goes in there. And like I feel like it was perfectly showcased too with how he's walking away. It slowly fades out and echoes her voice going, no, no, no. It starts to fade and just like the noise gets louder because he's fucking pissed. I thought it was good. I thought it was so good.
So what about when he literally backs up the vehicle to save someone, like you pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
The extra little detail of him shooting the light to start the fire, and then he's like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that.
Okay,
what about that? Like going back to save him, that makes sense. But then doing that action, now you just put the whole family and everybody else there in danger because of Boss Lady who's going to pull up and try and kill you. What about that?
But I mean, at the same time, though, like she was going to come after him for killing all of her guys anyway. But I like if she's the amount of crazy that the movie tries to, which I have a problem with this. If she's the amount of crazy that the movie constantly tries to tell us that she is, I didn't find her that crazy. Like I found Heath Ledger's Joker or any version of Joker crazier than her. I didn't think she was that crazy. But with everything we know about how they told us about this woman, she's going to come after him anyway. But I'll still agree with you though, that like, that does not mean that you just instigate it more and then put your family at more risk and everything by lighting the whole place up.
To me, what it felt like was the first movie, he tried to do, he needed a release. And so you get the bus scene with the drunk guys. And then he ends up hurting the son of the Russian. And that's how he got involved. And so you can look at that from a view of like, he needed a release and he found kind of an excusable, understandable release, which is these guys are drunk. They're kind of being weird around this girl on the bus and they kind of instigated first. Obviously, he set up for them to instigate him, obviously, but still like, in that scenario, that was a release where, he can feel like he actually did some good by putting them in their place a little bit.
Exactly. And so that one set up his character of like wanting to do good, right? Just like helping people despite what it might mean for him. And so I think that him saving the kid in this movie is also very warranted and justified there.
But my problem is when you have a scene like that in the first film where we understand his motive, and he's not trying to get involved with anything. He doesn't want a bigger thing to happen. He doesn't know what's at stake there. He just does something, and then there's a domino effect. He gets involved and dragged back in when he doesn't want to be that far dragged back in, right? In the second movie, it felt like continually, time after time, even when knowing the stakes, knowing the threat, he still chose to make a stupid decision, not that then incidentally brought him back in further and further, but knowingly brought him back in further and further. That to me is the silly part.
See, and the difference here is like, I feel like we're just at a crossroads of like understanding what his character actually desires. Because I would say in that first movie, the entire time that is showcasing his life was monotonous without this aspect of his life. It literally, they showcased it with the title cards: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He was in such like a swing state of things. He was forgetting to put the trash can out. He had no sort of relationship with his wife to the point where there was a barrier in the bed. And as soon as he starts that physical violence stuff again, he has the courage to talk to his wife and tell him, I miss you. Tell her I miss you. I miss being with you. We haven't made love. We haven't had sex, yada, yada, yada. Like, he has the courage to do all those things finally after he was in retirement with this. And even his brother Harry on the radio says, like, I know that you want to do what you're about to do. I bet you love doing this stuff. There's constantly lines about how he loves doing these things. And so in this movie, I think that this time around, he still loves to do these things. It's just now the conflict is he's not finding the right balance between loving to do this thing and then also spending time with his family. So I don't think that that's very well. I don't think they do a good job of fleshing out that conflict. I don't think that they could have done a much better job about it, as truthfully. But I do think that, like, I understand it in that way. But just also his conflict of wanting to do good and saving this kid, and wanting to have this violence. This violent side of him, and even the barber comments on at the beginning of the movie, it's in his nature that, like, this is always going to be, nature always wins, is what he says. Like, this is always going to be your place. And so this movie, I think, not so much of him not wanting to be a part of it, not wanting to be in this life. I do think that it's a little bit strange for them to have structured it. It's very clearly he's still in this life right now because he's paying off a debt he's not getting paid on his own. He's clearing off the debt from burning down the ob shack in the first one. And so that I do think is weird that's like the maybe the plot hole in everything that I'm talking about here, instead of him doing it for his own means and because he genuinely wants to do it. But I don't know. I think that it's pretty clearly laid out, and I think that it's pretty well done. And I also everything else that he gets into in this movie is purely reactionary. Like the four cops, the cop, and then the other three guys that the cop hires to come beat him up on the duck boat. Like, he's reacting to that. He doesn't want to do that in front of his family, so then he goes out of his way to handle it. And he tries to talk to them. He just tries not to fight. He's literally going easy mode on them until he cut off his pinky, and then he's like, "All right, dude, screw this," and he starts chopping them up and throwing them in the river and everything like that. I think almost every action scene, with the exception of the finale, when him and the Wyatt guy are, also, we never said spoilers, but spoilers, him and the Wyatt guy are standing outside the water park, and the sheriff comes up and he's like, so if we got two options here. You can either come with me, walk over to her, or all hell can break loose right now. And they're like, yeah, I think we like that option. We like that. Funny line. I think that was good. And like, that's what he wants. That is what he desires. That he likes doing these things. It's just, it's in conflict right now with his family, and he's not finding the right balance of it. And again, this is why I only give it a 1 thumbs up, because I don't think they handle that conflict very well.
I will actually give you some credit here. I think you have swayed me a little bit on your side, in the sense of the first movie was about his life was so mundane until he got brought back into it, and he needed that for himself and who he is as a character. And this movie was, he's now too far in. And now, instead of having a mundane life, he's over adjusted and is too committed to this life. And now it's affecting his relationships with his family. That is a good idea for how they should handle it as a sequel.
And also, sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, all I want to say, I think in the beginning they handled it phenomenally. Like, why I say it's the same but different with them doing the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing again. It's a perfect contrast of the mundane life that he had in the first one, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and how he's just going through the motions. And now he's living life. He's loving it. He's beating the hell out of dudes. He's shooting them and everything. And then cutting to his wife alone at dinner every night, texting him constantly. I think that was perfect, but I don't think that they do a great job of like fleshing out that conflict throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah. So I don't like, that doesn't sway me when it comes to my overall thoughts on how good the movie is, but I understand now more what you're saying about his character motive and how it's a logical extension of what happened in the first film. So I will give you that, but I still don't think this movie was great, even at a base level. Like, I'm sorry, the action in this movie, is there a single scene that's better than the fight on the bus from the first movie?
Not at all. And the other thing is, like, it's edited.
Rewatching it,
I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, rewatching the bus fight, like, it was like, I don't know. Yeah.
I still think that's better than anything that was in this movie, though. That's the thing. Like, this movie, this franchise, the first movie does everything better than what they do here. I think the editing is so much better in the first movie. I felt like we couldn't let any scene breathe unless it was intentional. We're gonna make this a slow motion tense moment. Other than that, we're cutting everywhere. The ADR is absolutely atrocious. I mean, ADR was bad. So bad.
I also want to say that I think this is some of Bob Odenkirk's worst work, like acting wise. Like, he was phoning it in so hard. No,
you think so?
Man. Yeah, I think he was phoning it in so hard. Like, comparing this to Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's night and day. Truthfully, it's crazy. Even his time on The Bear, like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
we love each other. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Oh man.
Man. Even like you say, you don't like the bus fight scene. Even the end fight scene in Nobody, and it's kind of Home Alone style, similar to what they did here. I liked it better in the first film, but one of the standout scenes in that whole finale of the first film was the scene with Harry, just like in the upstairs area of the office where he's got his shotgun, his sniper. Not shotgun. He has a sniper, and he's doing like hand-to-hand combat with it and shoot. That's that moment. That moment's so sick.
But dude, he literally has a katana in this movie, cuts a gun in half through the barrel, and then straight through. Like, come on, bro. Charlie, what?
I will give you that singular moment is phenomenal. But when he pulls out his katana, I literally said to myself, which, by the way, I want to talk about my theater experience a little bit in a second here. But I literally said to myself in the theater, I said, this is probably about to be the best action scene in this entire movie. And then it was literally just like camera like this of until that one singular cool moment, which was one of the coolest action moments of the movie. But that's not saying much. And none of that is anywhere near the cool choreography with the sniper, triple headshot, over the shoulder shot to also use the back kick to hit the guy in the face.
Yeah.
Nothing comes close. Nothing comes close.
At all. It felt so lazy.
I like the elevator fight scene. Actually, that whole sequence, because it was kind of a sequence. He was telling him about the elevator fight and then having to fight all the guys in the kitchen and then down in the
that scene, that one was where he was like, "Oh my," and he's like, "Oh, they were Brazilian. They had something." He's like, "No, maybe it was MP5s or whatever." Like that whole. Where then the Brazilians come in with machetes. Like, I thought that whole sequence was a lot of fun. I think that's probably my favorite action sequence of the whole movie. But yeah, I mean, still doesn't. I honestly still don't think it comes close to anything in the first movie.
I agree with that. Can I
bus fight scene massively overrated?
I just want to say that final fight action scene in this movie is like probably the laziest piece of shit I've ever seen.
What?
Like, that was so bad.
The Hall of Mirrors thing was cool.
It was ass. No,
the
it
bouncing
was bad.
Betty in the ball pit, the grenades.
What, he put a landmine in there? Like, cool. Anybody could come up with that.
You can't do a Hall of Mirrors scene well when you have John Wick Chapter 2.
Like, like what are we talking about, bro?
Like what
standards so high.
What kind of critique is that, bro?
I'm just saying, crazy, bro. You're saying it's sick. I'm sitting there going, like, I've seen this done 10 times better years ago, almost a decade ago at this point. Like, I know
they can both be good, man. Buddy. They can both.
No, they can't, because one is just infinitely better. Like,
okay, one can be better, and then the other one can still be good. Nowhere did I think that this movie was going to be on anywhere. I don't think the first, because I did, like I said, rewatching the first one, I did not like it that much, and this franchise as a whole is never going to be anywhere near the John Wick franchise. Never. Like, that's not. I understand that as I'm watching.
It can at least be better than this. Because I've seen it be better than this. You guys are case rested.
Also, the duck boat fight scene was also pretty good. So
I just thought the shaky cam and editing of them was like almost all of the fights, even the elevator fight scene. I'm like, I expected more from just the camera work and editing. I don't know.
It's bad. They literally save all the cool, quote unquote, cool, like, editing moments for just like random slow motion. Like, I don't know, that whole scene with the mom, or she comes in and shoots the knife, like, oh yeah, I definitely believe that. That's a great possibility after we saw her do it once. Like, the fuck up. What I was actually hoping for was that she'd be doing the gun, and then we would find out, like, oh, she had a past in this too, like, that we just didn't know about in the first movie. Because he says, oh, back like old days, where she's patching him up. And during watching the first movie, I was like, oh, are they going to do like some cool reveal that like her past, like maybe she has military training, or that
it's not enough to buy for you, like how long they've been together. Maybe he just showed her a thing or two. Like, that's not enough for you to buy. All right.
Not enough to snipe the knife out of
snipe a knife that's being thrown at you. Like, what are you talking about, Charlie?
Man, it was literally showcased early. No, dude, no, stop.
Showcased earlier with a water gun. Awesome, great, dude. That's like,
it was not a water gun. It wasn't
a really excuse.
It wasn't a water gun. It wasn't a water gun.
Yeah, it was a gun.
But still, though, like, also. Maybe it's just because I understand that this franchise is wacky, and for some reason you guys think that this is like the pinnacle of realism.
Because the first one was so much better in every aspect, in terms of action, plot, everything. Wacky. That's fine, yeah. Like, I'd give it to you. Like, it's still not like to be taken as serious as like the John Wicks or like, you know, some of the Mission Impossibles. But still, this movie, like, I don't know, Ben. Like Extraction, bro. Perfect, dude. Like, that is like beautiful, like action heavy with like simple straight fastball down the middle plot. Like, even the 7 out of 10s, even the 6 out of 10s, that's what this should be. That's what this franchise should be. It shouldn't be whatever we just got in the theater on August fucking 15th.
I did want to briefly talk about my theater experience.
Crazy haters, bro.
I walked into the theater and I sat down, and I always get there early. I'm, you know, if a showtime is at 4:00, I'm usually in my seat at like 3:55, even though trailers start at 4 and the movie doesn't start till 4:15, 4:20. I'm there early, no matter what. And so I'm like one of the first people to sit down, and all of a sudden, time after time, just elderly couple in their 70s, 80s walks into the theater, sits down. Next one walks into the theater, sits down. I had an elderly couple that were like 3 seats down from me, and the theater room I was in, it was like double seating, 2 chairs, you know, paired together down the row. And so she was like with her husband or whatever, and she walks over and sits down in the seat that's next to me, which I was like, what? And she said, how do you make your chair recline like that? Like,
oh my God.
there's just a little button on the inside of the chair. She said, "Thank you very much," and she went and sat down and reclined her
Oh my
chair.
gosh.
And I'm not even joking. Probably 6 to 6, 7, 8 elderly couples, and then me. And I was in the dead center of the theater. You know, I got the best seat, and it's just all elderly couples. I was like, why are people like, why is this the crowd for this movie? Is this like a Bob Odenkirk's a little old, Christopher Lloyd is a little old, so this is kind of like a, you know, elderly couple drawn to want to see old people fight in an action. I don't know. Like, I can't rationalize in my head why that was literally the entire crowd in my theater besides me. But everybody loved it. Like, the amount of hooting and hollering from everybody else in the theater as I was just sitting there, that actually, it elevated my experience having all of them there to laugh and react to things. Because I wasn't providing that, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like those
people still came out a hater, bro. It's insane.
The old people are gonna sway me.
I still feel like, well, not I still feel like, but I feel like you always typically see, and this is even true for Christopher Lloyd's character, you always tend to see like old people or like people in nursing homes watching these old westerns that are like very action heavy. And so I feel like a lot of older people, and I definitely agree that maybe it's Bob Odenkirk and Christopher Lloyd as well. But I think you combine all that stuff. Like I think older people do like action movies more than we might immediately think.
Yeah.
What is your star rating out of 5, Ben?
Well, yeah, I wanted to. We'll just do quick succession. Yeah. Nobody 1, nobody 2 star rating, just because we haven't, you know, given ratings of that. First nobody film, I have it rated at a 3.5 out of 5 stars, so a 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Nobody 2, 2.5 stars, 5 out of 10. Charlie,
okay.
I'd give it 3 stars. This new one, the first one, I'd give it 2.5.
I'm right with Ben. I'd give the first one 3.5 out of 5, but I'd give the second one 2 stars. I think 2 stars. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I really didn't like it.
Dang.
Some moments, but the more I kept thinking about it, the more I'm like, man, this is bad.
Bro just doesn't understand character arcs, bro, and how they work, man.
Jesus Christ, bro. You don't even use that word when talking about these movies. This movie, bro.
Dude, I just went on a freaking tirade of talking about how... Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
I do think it's fascinating that, like, because Charlie, you just rewatched the first one and then watched the second one. I just rewatched the first one and then watched the second one. That we both can do that. And I can very clearly be watching the second one and being like, this is so much worse. And you can be watching it being like, oh, this is better. It's like, how does that happen?
Well, when you have someone like this on this podcast, I mean, that's how it happens.
Listen, bro, there's nothing phenomenal about the first movie. Like, it's such a, like, by the numbers, like, I don't know, man. It's such a, you can get it when watching one of Jason Statham's 3 movies about how he's a retired, like, you can, like, come on, bro.
Weapons 9 out of 10. Yeah, eat on that, Charlie.
Bro. Yeah, Weapons. Go ahead, man. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you do have floppy opinions. You're right, Aiden. You're right. You just flop around, boy. You're right, man.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Guess what?
Hey, point at him. Hey, point at him.
2023 is a better year. Also, yeah.
You've been saying that the whole time. What you were saying the whole time? Oh my gosh! Holy cow! Sorry, you guys don't know ball, man. You guys don't know ball. Also, I just want to make it known, like, I gave it a 3, bro. I gave it a 3. Like, I gave it 1 thumbs up. Y'all are like, yo, he thought this thing was like the Odyssey or some shit. And I guess I shouldn't say the Odyssey. The Odyssey's not out yet, but still. Oh my gosh.
I don't listen. It's not the fact that you have it at a 3 out of 5. That alone wouldn't be ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that, but having it above the first one, that's
insane.
That's something, in my opinion. But you know, that's okay.
You guys are
All
riding
right.
on the cool car of the first one. Congrats, boys.
Thanks,
I mean,
bro.
we actually know ball, but it's okay.
Yeah, all right. Go watch your new Jason Statham movie that comes out in 4 months where he's another retired.
This movie was
freaking-
better than a Working Man from earlier this year.
Really? Nobody too. You like it more than that?
Yeah, I didn't like
okay.
A Working Man. But
What
it's
about
not as good.
Beekeeper?
It's not as good as Beekeeper.
Okay.
I don't think it's as good as Beekeeper.
I haven't seen Beekeeper or The Working Man or A Working Man.
Anyways, that wraps up Nobody 2. Thank you all for listening this far. If you did, make sure to leave a comment. We have more exciting episodes coming up. I actually don't know what we're talking about next week. Because
Peacemaker.
Well, yeah, we'll have to talk off episode about when, when that drops, if we can get in an episode based on also when I'm gone and stuff like that. So we'll be back at some point next week for talking about more things. We got Peacemaker coming up. We have Ninja 2 coming to theaters, which I know Charlie and I will both be checking out at some point. Too. Okay, yeah.
I got my tickets for IMAX 3D at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
That sounds cool because you already seen it, man. Let us have the star.
Wait, are y'all both watching it Saturday or before Saturday night?
I have not purchased my tickets, so I have no idea.
I'm gone that weekend, so I can't watch.
Okay, yeah.
We'll
talk
about
it later.
Yeah. But we'll have more exciting episodes coming up in the following weeks. But that is going to be it for this episode of Words from the Nerds podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time. Sayonara.
Adios.
Beep.